sensed your approach, my king. I, Gurfan of the Gunvaldir tribe, salute you as my forefathers decreed. Ah, so you're still speaking with your own voice. Good. At least I won't have to bother with that formal drivel Camelot loves so much. Tell me, how does it work with the two of you? Does the king speak through you sometimes? Or is he just a passenger in your head? Will he ever come out and talk to me face to face? Or does he just sit there quietly, never getting involved? Either way, I've got a few things to say to him. Not exactly polite ones. Ah, so he won't be speaking. Still too weak, is he? Not surprising. Well, then give my regards to the old man. Tell him the Gunvaldir tribe stayed loyal to the old treaties right to the end. The same can't be said of the Camelocians. Pack of cowardly dogs without honor. I hope Arthur's squirming in your head, seeing what his beloved capital has been up to. Normal ones, honorable. He entrusted us with the Forlorn swords and his crown, the one he used to command. In return, Camelot was supposed to leave us alone, now and forever. But the Camelocians didn't hold up their end of the deal. May their souls rot in the weirdness. Can you hear me, Arthur? The treaty is rubbish. I'm rallying the tribes, and we're marching on Camelot. Nothing can stop us anymore. Except ourselves, damn it. Why? He's barely gotten his life back, and not even... There's a passage, sure. And if you're Arthur, it will open for you. Go ahead, if you think you're strong enough. Nobody's gonna stop you. But let me warn you, it's not going to be an easy journey, or a short one. Well, the giants are asleep, at least on the surface. But below, what if they wake up when they see Arthur? I doubt they'll be happy. And if the giants weren't enough, there are still the monsters, and other. If I were you, I wouldn't go in there. At least, not until you're sure you have it, or without the blessing of the tribes. As agreed 600 years ago. You'd know that if you remembered our agreements, Arthur. Yes, the funny thing about our king, as you may already know, he knew he could march in there, grab his crown whenever he wanted, so he didn't sweat when he made a deal with our ancestors. He said he'd come back for his royal hat, only if the kingdom was in a dire situation. Traditionally, this was meant to be done during a moot, and I'm calling one, so we can help each other out, if you're up for it. Well, I need the chieftains to come here, because we have to agree on a united front, and I want to make damn sure that we fight Camelot not as a solitary tribe, like hot-headed One-Eye once, but as a united force. But I'm worried that something might be keeping them from leaving their... They won't. Our tribes aren't exactly known for getting along and gathering them all in, but now they've left Gunvaldir in its time of need, and they're ashamed. That's why you have to shame them even more. And if they say they won't come because, then you'll deal with a big... Exactly. There's only one. I'll be waiting. As a Gunvaldir. So, looks like fate itself decided to push you my way. That has to meet. But Kedron, that's grim news. He may, if he sent a non-Rida in his place, then he knew. I won't let that go to waste, and neither will you. Truth is, I'd sent him to do the very same task I've just laid before. As of now, 4. Mages. Clever, but strange. They see the world differently. Useful in a fight, but don't expect to understand them. Still, strength. The Ofra are warriors, the best of us. No word from their chieftain, no son. The Svein are hunters, and guard forest devilry, if you ask me. The Volker were our berserkers, matters cho now each an eye for an eye. Does that surprise you? I was the one who tried to convince One Eye not to throw people into Grail. But for that, I'd need united tribes. If you ask me, I got scared. The giant in our village started glowing, maybe waking up. We were glad, though the other tribes, not, and that's probably why they didn't lift us, the Dalrita. We have changed. We're a shadow of our end. Well, you see, the giants for us are a bit like gods. The Dalrita befriended the giants long before Arthur ever did. There was peace between us. We honor them because we believe that when they awaken, they will repay our care with their protection. What can I tell you? We're gone. I'm still here, and so is One Eye. He's convinced he can take. We were brave, proud, and deeply. I won't tell you more than that. I don't want. King Arthur. His presence, your words, your actions, they carry the weight of him. The weight the Gunvelder haven't forgotten. But don't mistake my recognition for trust. If Arthur... Yes? Who...
War never makes sense, and I refuse to wage war against the Fordwell. So if Gurfhanna declares war on Camelot, but don't ask me what I think of it. Through your eyes. When I gave the Forlorn swords to the tribes of the a few abandoned giant caves, the occasional low... What stands now must have... And I must admit, I'm in...
Halt! Bow your head when you stand before the king. Bow before King Nobody, the indomitable defender, the scourge of his enemies, the slayer of monsters. I am King Nobody the Bold, King Nobody the Strong. I see you come from distant lands. What brings you here? Do you bear gifts with... So you know who you stand before? You've heard of my gloom. The greatest this world has ever known. My heroic... I won the Battle of the Six Chieftains. I conquered the weirdness and defeated the beast. The chieftains of the Five De La Rida tribes stood... They was barely a child. They strapped up... I could barely stand on my feet as the iron pressed me into the coals. Everyone was cheering. I braved the great water on a raft. It's my name. I gave it to myself. I never had to ask it. This is the name of the great... Arthur? Arthur? In who? Face me in a duel. Oh! The king is dead. Long live the king. The king. I am a nobody again. The king is dead. Long live the king. The king. The throne is yours.
Stop! Don't cut. Are you alive? I don't know. Last friend of mine left this cave. Could be more. Hard to tell the time in here. But yeah, it's been a while. I'm the one asking questions here. Though, looking at you, I wouldn't stand a chance in a fight. Name's Sylvius. What? Gods, no. And since the war's still on, and you don't look like a Riata, it's safe, more or less. You get used to the dark. At dusk, before the weirdness creeps in. The war with Dalriata started with the Gunvilda lot. And the Dalriata, I used to think they were... And I'm done helping with this. I wondered about that too, when the Order came, and they had a deal with King Arthur. They could rule, I thought, and when you don't know what it's about gold. So I figure those fine knights of the Round Table made a deal to bleed, because it's miserable back in Camelot. The city's nothing like the capital Well, since Camelot, a few lads and I never got the retreat order. They left with us. I made it because I was stubborn. The others, that's how I know the war is still going. What? No, they're so loud. But the weirdness comes at night. And maybe it is the weirdness. I've heard, I don't... Who knows? They left. I've been alone ever since. Alone in this awful... So many years. If I go back home, they'll think I'm a spy. But if I stay, I'll die here, alone. When you leave... Maybe I will. I'll go back as a beggar. You're right. I'll pack. Thank you for showing up. I won't be needing it. Before we part ways, I'll give you the location of a stash. His treasures weren't any use to me. Not in the... So I'm passing it on to you.
Thought I heard it here once. Soft, like a crack in the air before storm. But it slipped away. Again. Did you hear it? Something we lost before it shaped the way the rivers bend. The way it's still out just hard. I'm trying to hear what remains. It was the first true we remember only. Maybe this. It wasn't a word. Before we knew how to shape clay and burned, not a rule, not a command. I don't think it meant to leave us. I think we forgot how. Because it's the only everything. It's real. Thank you for my clansmen lost patience. Here, take this. Farewell. Farewell.